The following is a presentation of the Game Time Sports Network. From the campus of Motlow State Community College in beautiful Tullahoma, Tennessee, this is Motlow State Soccer. And now it's game time. Yes, indeed, folks. It is game time, or match time, as it were. Good afternoon. I'm Jay Harper. It is a beautiful day, as opposed to what we dealt with this past Wednesday. It's a beautiful day today from the campus of Motlow State Community College in Tullahoma, Tennessee. I'm Jay Harper, Game Time Sports Network, as we are about to bring you Motlow State Soccer as the Bucks squaring off against the Lady Raiders of Roane State. Your Bucks coming in today 4-0-1 in the conference, 6-1-2 overall. The Roane State Lady Raiders, Donnie Green, their head coach, along with assistants Lexi Click and Nathan Worley, they come in 4-5-1 overall and 3-4 in the conference. Yeah, this past Wednesday, it was a soggy one. Miserable conditions for the players and not much fun for the live stream setup either, let me tell you. But, hey, we all got through it, and Motlow State defeating Chattanooga State by an 8-0 score, 8-0 in the last match this past Wednesday. So, Roane State, again, Donnie Green, their head coach in his second year with the Lady Raiders. They have, in conference play, they have defeated Chattanooga State. They have lost to Pellissippi State and Columbia State. They defeated Dyersburg State, and they lost at Southwest Tennessee. They played Dyersburg State a couple of times and beat them on September 19th as well. They lost to Pellissippi State back on September 23rd. So it's been somewhat of a mixed bag for Roane State this season, and they come into this match hoping to improve their TCCAA conference record. Coach Andy Lyon for Motlow State. They are undefeated in conference play. They do have that draw against Pellissippi State, where it was a 0-0 match. And that the lone blemish, quote unquote, for conference play for Motlow State. Again, they are 6-1-2 overall and still find themselves nationally ranked. As mentioned in the waterlogged match this past Wednesday, they shut out Chattanooga State 8-0. Then there was that tie match on September 19th with Pellissippi State. Columbia State, that was a come-from-behind victory there. 5-2, the final there against the Lady Chargers. They defeated Southwest Tennessee, shut them out 7-0 at Southwest back on September 7th at the Mike Rose Complex. Beautiful complex there in the Memphis area. And they also shut out Dyersburg State at Dyersburg State. That was a 10-0 match back on September 5th. So that gives you the rundown of conference play for both Roane State, the Lady Raiders, as well as the Bucks of Motlow State. We are about to get the introductions underway as we are preparing for a nice match on a beautiful day here on the campus of Motlow State. So Athletic Director Ross Fanning will be doing the introductions here shortly. We'll have the anthem and then some other festivities taking place here today. And we'll get to that here shortly.
Where did May go? May, you ready? You ready? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Motlow State for today's matchup between Roane State and your Motlow State Bucks. It is youth night tonight, so we're excited to have some of our local youth families and fans with us today. At this time, will you please rise, remove your hats, and join us in honoring our country with the playing of the national anthem. Before we introduce tonight's starting lineups, we'd like to recognize some very special helpers who are serving as tonight's ball kids. Please give a warm welcome as they step onto the field. Lily, Allie, Aiden, Haley, Ellie, Callie, Emma, Zeta, Addie, Melly, and here are some that's going to be with the referees tonight, Addison and Camden. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Please give a round of applause for our ball kids today. Thank you for helping us tonight.
So, acknowledging the volunteers, again, that is Athletic Director Ross Fanning, the AD here at Motlow State.
Now let's meet today's visitors, Roane State. 00, Addison Roberts. Number 2, Hannah Kate Turner. Number 3, Monica Bounds. Number 4, Brianna Sanderson. Number 6, Victoria Moa. Number 7, Jasmine West. Number 19, Maddie Bailey. Number 22, Micaiah Ralston. Number 23, Molly Ketterman. Number 24, Jesla Uribe. And number 27, Zoe Rose. And now, your starting lineup for your Motlow State Bucks. Number 2, Olivia Wellum. Number 6, Carolina Rose. Number 8, Lola Cunningham. Number 9, Elva Nunez. Number 10, Tezzy Coleman. Number 11, Kinley Buena. Number 12, Brianna Molina. Number 19, Aura Zaladon. Number 22, Jordan Butler. Number 23, Ariana Dunez. And number 26, Ayan Ahmed. Your assistant coach, Katie Reed, and your head coach, Andy Lyon.
Well, folks, there you have our rosters for both teams, again presented by the Motlow State Athletic Director, Ross Fanning. We will, of course, get the action underway here shortly from Motlow State. I'm Jay Harper, Game Time Sports Network. Our next live stream of Motlow State Soccer will be a couple of weeks, as we are bringing you home conference matches. The next home conference match will be against Dyersburg State on October 12th, and that will be a 1 p.m. start, Central Daylight Time. Then we'll wrap up the regular season versus Southwest just a week after that, on October 19th. Those are both Sunday matches. It is so nice to see some sunshine here as opposed to what we dealt with back on September 24th, when it was just an absolute torrential downpour throughout the entire match. An 8-0 shutout over Chattanooga State by the Bucks. And actually, it was a game that was suspended a bit early, as both head coaches agreed to just shut her down as the match was well out of hand. And the weather was just dreadful. So, yes, it's nice to see some blue sky. And we've got a nice breeze as well, as the young ones run off the pitch. We'll get things started here shortly, as the kickoff is just moments away between Roane State and Motlow State. Motlow in green, Roane State in white with some blue accent. As we prepare to get underway. And away we go. And quickly, Motlow State trying to penetrate into the Roane State zone. Nunez, that is Zoe Rose, number 27, who gets it to Carolina Rose, number 6. And in the far corner, some scrambling. That's Coleman, the leading scorer, number 10 for Motlow State. And that young lady, she is pretty much everywhere for these matches, and consequently coming up as the leading scorer for the Bucks. Now Rose dribbling it in and finally gives it a boot to the near quarter. There's Nunez as she darts past the Roane State defender. And the goalkeeper is Addison Roberts, a freshman for Roane State. And Zeladon gets it to Nunez in the far corner. And that pass picked off by Roane State's Jasmine West, a midfielder sophomore, number 7. Ahmed now getting a touch. And now Nunez in the far corner. And past the net it goes. 3 minutes have elapsed here, so just in the very early goings, Motlow State versus Roane State. And there's Motlow to keep it out of their side of the pitch. And now Ahmed scurrying on the far side. And lofted back where Zeladon picks it off for Motlow State. And off the chest of Coleman now. And here is Maddie Bailey for Roane State. But back in control, Motlow State, as they try to put it in deep into the goal box for Roane. But as usual, the stellar defense of Motlow State coming through here in the early going. There's Ahmed chasing it down, and it goes out of play. So the goalkeeper now will put it back in play for Roane State. As a Roane State player struggling with their equipment, trying to get a shoe back on. And I think we are now ready to go. This is number 12 is Brianna Molina for Motlow. Number 12, she's from Antioch, a freshman. And Coleman getting a touch. Some fancy footwork from Zeladon. Zeladon and Ahmed playing a little pitch and catch. Now Nunez in the far corner gets it back over to Ahmed. looking to try to get a shot away. Here's Molina once again. Back over to Coleman now. Coleman. And a shot is retrieved by the Roane State goalkeeper again. That is the freshman Addison Roberts. And we're now off to the races. And for the first time, getting deep in the Motlow State zone is Roane State. Dunez giving a touch, and now Hannah Kate Turner she in a battle for the ball. Nunez now moving toward the goal, and a nice stop by Addison Roberts, the goalkeeper, to keep it out of the net with 38 minutes remaining in this first half. And here is Coleman doing what Coleman does. As it goes out of play. So Zeladon now with the corner kick. Trying to center it up. Dunez had a shot at it, and we get a whistle. Butler gets it over to Cunningham, who in turn feeds it to Carolina Rose, who zooms past us. Carolina giving it in the near corner to Nunez. And giving it out of the zone was Monica Bounds. Here's Buena now. Kinley gets it back over to Carolina Rose. And out it goes as Addison Roberts, the goalkeeper, will put it back in play for Roane State with 35:40 to play in this first half. And down, giving it back into the Roane State zone, but there is Butler to retrieve it, the goalkeeper for the Bucks. And there's Wellham, just shoving a player, a Roane State player, out of the way. Dunez with a foot on it, getting it here to Rose. Carolina back over to Dunez. And out of play it goes. Retrieved by the goalkeeper, Roberts. Butler now, the goalkeeper. Pops it over to Cunningham, and now here's Rose. And out it goes here in the near quarter. This is Makira Ralston, number 22, with the throw in. Rose will toss it in now for Motlow State. And this is Zeladon bringing it down. Both these teams still feeling each other out here in the early going in half number one. There's Wellham, and she is shoved out of bounds by Maddie Bailey, a freshman, number 19. And Cador in the match now for Coach Lyon, as Zeladon will get a breather. And there's the whistle. Back over deep into the Roane State zone. Now Buena has it knocked past her, and out it goes once again. The throw in by Motlow. Carolina Rose taking it. And now here's Cunningham. Chipping it over to Rose, who gets it to Hayton. Now Cunningham. And working in the far corner as it goes out of play. "31 minutes remaining in this first half, as we have yet to see either team reach the scoreboard just yet. As that kick ricochets off of Hannah Kate Turner, the freshman midfielder for the Lady Raiders. Now we've got a corner kick from Motlow. Roberts, the goalkeeper. She will put it in play. But it continues to stay on the Roane State side. But now back across. And that's Cador who gets it over to Butler. Butler to Cunningham. Lola passes it off. And now this is Roxy Fowler giving it back over to Cunningham. Nunez gets it to Nunez, and it almost trickles in. There's Kinley Buena to corral it. Now over to Fowler. And Wellham, this is Olivia Wellham, the defender from Cambridge, England, number 2. Ahmed in the throes of things before it is grabbed by Roberts, the Roane State goalkeeper. And off the noggin of Cador as the ball crosses the midway point. Off the left foot now of Wellham. That's Olivia. And back across midfield as Cunningham chases it down. Butler, the goalkeeper, number 22, Jordan Butler, a freshman out of Oakland High in Murfreesboro. The clock stopped at 28:08 remaining as it appears Maddie Bailey, I believe that is Maddie, coming in for Roane State. Actually, that is Emma Leander. Again, these jersey numbers a little difficult to see for Roane State. They are rather small on their jerseys. So, yes, that is number 13 who has come in, a freshman, Emma Leander. Dunez battling for it. And that is Molina, number 12. Now Fowler gets it over to Nunez. And Kenley Buena has it blocked by Jesla Uribe, Jesla, a midfielder, sophomore for the Lady Raiders. We're about halfway through this first half. And a battle in front of the net, but there is Roberts to corral it with a goal save. And a collision there with Leander and Fowler. Now right in front of the Motlow bench. Trying to center it up are the Bucks. And there's Roberts. She's been quite busy thus far. The Roane State goalkeeper. Here's Molina now being chased by about 4 Lady Raiders. Fowler dishes it off. Zeladon with a hop, skip, and a kick. Fowler, she's waving at her teammates. She was open and had a chance perhaps for a shot. And now here is Wellham. This is Madeline, number 4. As it goes out, and Fowler collects it. The throw in to Madeline. And this is Monica Bounds to throw it in. Getting it to Zoe Rose, and out of play it goes. Fowler puts it back in. And Molina gets it back over to Fowler. Zoe Rose gets a touch for Roane State. And in the far corner now, a battle between Ella Hobson and Molly Ketterman. Now Fowler with a good dribble, gets it to Cunningham. Mayaton, and had a little too much on that. As out of play it goes. So Roberts will put it in play once again. By far the busiest Roane State player in this match. The Lady Raider goalkeeper. Coleman gets it over to Fowler. Roxy back over to Coleman. Now here is Wellham. Wellham, this is Madeline. In the near corner. And out of play it goes. Coleman chipping it over to Cunningham. Lola in a battle with Jasmine West. Madeline now tries to center it up, but just has a little too much on it. And that goes off the head of Hobson. Roxy Fowler, as she is met by West for Roane State. Coleman now trying to get it centered up. Mayaton can't quite get it. There's Cunningham once again. Lola over to Coleman. And Tezzi gets it to Dunez. Now it's Roxy Fowler once again. "21 minutes, 5 seconds. Still on the clock in this first period, first half. Roberts now. And Buena. And there is Makira Ralston to intercept it for Roane State. Fowler. Here's Coleman, the leading scorer for Roane State. Gets a foot on it. Now the foot race with Dunez. It's another Addison Roberts save for the Lady Raiders. And a battle, we get a whistle there. Madeline Wellham in the foot race with Brianna Sanderson. Hobson trying to chase it down, but a couple of Roane State defenders are able to get there before her. The throw in by the Lady Raiders. Back across midfield. Cador is there to greet the ball. And it's a Motlow State throw in. Coleman with it. Gets it to Fowler. Fowler finds Ariana Baxter, number 3 in the match for Coach Lyon. Madeline Wellham with the corner kick for the Bucks. She a freshman midfielder. Coming up on 17 minutes remaining in this first half. As you can see, defense, the name of the game thus far. Even though most of the action has been taking place thus far in the Roane State side of the pitch. Coleman manages to keep her footing. Madeline Wellham in the mix. Now back to Coleman as she gives it a pop with the left foot, and it's cleared out by Roane State's Jasmine West. Baxter manages to win that battle with Makira Ralston. Makira, a sophomore defender for the Lady Raiders. Zoe Rose with a foot on it. Now Baxter. Baxter chasing it. Coleman Sets it up for Dunez. And out it goes. So it'll be up to the goalkeeper for Roane State to put it back in play. Addison Roberts will do just that. With 15 minutes to go. In half number one. Zeladon will do the throw in. Fowler calling for it. Roxy gets it in the near corner now to Baxter. As she falls to the turf. And Ralston kicks it out of play. Coleman all the way across to Zeladon. Zeladon, and it's just a bit too long. Dunez looking for some help, gets it over to Zeladon on the far side. Zeladon back to Dunez. And Fowler will track it down now. Roxy gets it back over to Coleman. In the far corner. Roane State trying to get it back across midfield. They haven't had much success for that. Here's Cador coming in now. And Fowler. And out it goes as Monica Bounds will pick it up. Dunez across to Fowler. Fowler rushing in, but she is met by Zoe Rose. Madeline Wellham looking for some help. As Zeladon will put it in play here for the Bucks. Hayton giving it to Roxy Fowler. Fowler centers it to Coleman. But there is a Roane State defender to thwart that plan. Toward the net it goes, but there's Roberts to scoop it up. 11 minutes exactly remaining in this first half of play. And Cador gets it out. One of the rare times we've been in the Motlow side. Coleman takes it. And Butler will pick it up and pop it over on the far side. And here is Baxter, who gets it to Coleman. And now Castorena, number 18. For Motlow. Here's Fowler. She's been busy. She's had some opportunities, but just can't quite capitalize on anything just yet. Fowler now. Roxy giving it to Coleman, who in turn trying to get it to Baxter. The sun wreaking a little havoc on our camera here with the glare. So Fowler will throw it in. But she has to spit first. The whistle and the throw in. Nunez now. And out it goes as Baxter gets a foot on it. And now over to Cunningham. Coleman. She's got a chance. Oh, what a beautiful save by Roberts. That, by far, a goal-scoring save as Coleman got a good shot off with the left foot. But that was pretty as Roberts definitely, perhaps even a match-saving stop, seeing as how offense is, well, thus far been at a premium. We haven't had any yet, but that was absolutely a gorgeous save by the freshman goalkeeper, Addison Roberts. Fowler tried to chip it in, but just a little too much on that. 6 minutes, 45 seconds to play in half number one. Cador gets a foot on it. Nunez tries to get it to Castorena. Roberts retrieves it, lofts it far in the air where Cador gets a chip on it. Now over to Fowler. Fowler to Baxter. Roxy will put it back in play with the Bucks throw in. She tosses it. And that's Castorena who gets it to Cunningham. And now Olivia Wellham. And out of play with just over 5 minutes left. Nunez. Fowler trying to penetrate, tries to get it to Nunez. And again, the sunshine down on that end is causing quite the glare here. Not much we can do about that on that end while the sun is in that portion of the sky. Of course, we'll take it compared to what we dealt with here the last time we were here, when I literally was standing in about 8 inches of water here where I'm currently set up. Now Olivia Wellham. And Coleman. Yeah, she's everywhere. Nunez trying to find an opening. Nunez, a nice pass to Olivia Wellham. There's Coleman. And now Baxter tracks it down as it goes out of play. Exactly 3 minutes remaining in this first half. As you can see, we are at 0-0. Thus far, we've seen a number of nice saves by Addison Roberts, the Roane State goalkeeper. One in particular definitely saved a goal as she laid out to make the save. Coleman feeding it to Baxter. Baxter gets it centered up. Ahmed in the match on the far corner. Under 2 minutes to play. Coleman and Nunez there. Now, Roane State. There's Jasmine West as she gets it to Leander, number 13. So the official admonishing a couple of players. All I heard him say was, "We're not doing that." So as he was, I believe, directing his comments to Cunningham and Leander. Nunez. Zigging and zagging, giving it over to Coleman, who puts it toward the net, but there's Roberts. The waning seconds of this first half. And that signifies that we are indeed at halftime. And as you can see, we have yet to have any scoring here. 15 minutes now on the clock as we are in the intermission. And we'll go ahead and have a couple of promotional announcements while we stand by from the campus of Motlow State Community College. Again, I'm Jay Harper. We appreciate you hanging with us here on a beautiful day in Tullahoma, Tennessee. It's Jay Harper. Join me and Nashville radio legend John Bozeman, known as Johnny B, as we gab about all things radio, entertainment, and music in the Circling the Drain podcast. We share stories and experiences from our more than 90 combined years of being in the biz. Yeah, we're old. Come along for the ride. You never know where it may take you. It's the Circling the Drain podcast, available every Wednesday morning on all podcast platforms. As you can see, play is about to resume. As Roane State will handle the kickoff. The whistle. And away we go. Dunez giving a head on it as she hits the turf. Olivia Wellham hits it toward the net, and there is Roberts to retrieve it as she has been doing a stellar job all day. Coleman gets it past Cunningham now. Cunningham with it. Gets it to the far side. Coleman now with the touch as she tangles with a Roane State player. She's a bit slow to get up. And a bit of traffic in front of the goal. Baxter fighting off Ralston. Cunningham chipping it over to Coleman. And there we have it. As Dunez puts the first goal in the net to get the score at 1-0 here. That didn't take long. 42-20 on the clock. This somewhat reminiscent of the Columbia State match, where Motlow State could not get anything to happen in the first half, but then in the second half, in just the first couple of minutes, found the net. And that's the case again here today. Holly Ferguson in net now, as is typically the case, where Butler will play goalkeeper in the first half, and Ferguson will sub for her in the second half. Ahmed centers it up for Coleman, and another quick goal. As again, this very reminiscent of the match against Columbia State. where the Bucks were able to come out in that match in the second half and put 2 quick ones on the board, and they have done that again here today. At 41-21. Dunez. Now Roane State, there's Dunez. Off the head. Coleman now. Gets it back to Ariana. And a nice save. As Roberts still in goal for Coach Green.